Welcome to Pep Talk and Pickleball, the podcast where we explore empty nest life, health, fitness, and nutrition, all with a side of pickleball fun. I'm your host, Jill Lewis, your guide through this exciting phase of life. As a certified faster way to fat loss coach and fellow empty nester, I'm here to share insights, interview experts, and yes, sprinkle in some pickleball talk. Join me for weekly doses of motivation and laughter as we navigate health, happiness, and pickleball passion. Grab your paddle, join the conversation, and let's dive into Pep Talk and Pickleball. Welcome back to Pep Talk and Pickleball. This is your host, Jill Lewis. Thank you for joining me today. I just finished a faster way HIIT workout that was incredible. I got myself, a little, my heart rate down, did a little bit of stretching, and here I am ready to chat with you. So thank you for being here. Spring has sprung. The spring allergies are just kicking our tail in our house, but hopefully we'll get over that soon. It's such an awesome time of the year, so it's a bummer when you don't want to go outside because of all those spring allergies. Recently on Instagram, I was asking some followers, what are some ideas? Like, what are things that you do to help with allergies? And so one of them was the local honey, which I was like, why do I forget about that? So my husband, actually someone that he works with, they have access to local honey. So we've been trying that every day. I've been putting it in some hot tea. My husband just takes it straight. So we're trying that. We use the neti pot all the time. Do you ever use a neti pot? And then what else are we using? Well, my husband started Mucinex because he truly has it way worse than I do. And he also does Flonase. So anyone out there has great ideas for allergies, we are all ears. But that's not what I'm here to talk with you about today. Today, I wanted to talk about one of my Instagram posts that really got a lot of attention. And whenever I see that, I think, okay, well, that's kind of a hot topic. I think that's something that women want to hear more about. And, the reason I started this podcast was so that I can dive deeper with you and have deeper conversations and have interesting people on and discussion, because I like long form social media content better than short form. Believe it or not, if you follow me on Instagram, you're probably thinking, no way, but I really do. And that's why I started the podcast. So, recently I had a little reel that I did that was basically just saying, like, what would I do if I wanted to lose a clothing size? Like if I wanted to drop a size by Memorial Day. Okay, this was like the first part of April when I did this. And, I just kind of listed really quickly like 7 or 8 items. And that was that. And, a lot of women responded to it and wanted to hear more. So I thought, let's dive deeper into each one of those. And we can kind of, maybe you can get a better understanding of why I would suggest these particular things to do. So that's what we're going to talk about. So if you think, if I could drop a size by Memorial Day, and that is intriguing, then listen up. So the very first thing that I said was that I would really focus on tracking my step count through the day. And I would aim for 10,000. I know that sounds so daunting and overwhelming, especially if you have a job where you're sitting at a desk, but this is what really moves the needle in terms of your fitness. And if you are looking to drop a size, that's what I would do. So I use I wear an Oura ring that tracks my steps. You might have an Apple Watch or a Garmin, or I don't know. There's like so many different kinds out there, and some are more expensive than others. But certainly getting steps in is so important. Even if you can't track the step count, just getting, maybe it's just breaking it into 3 15-minute walks a day. That may not get you to 10,000, but if you think about it, every step does count. And like I always tell my clients, something is always better than nothing. We have to remember that. Something is always better than nothing. So just because I'm saying 10,000 is the number that I would love for you to hit, that doesn't mean that if you're only getting 5,000, that's not better than getting, 2,000. So every step absolutely counts. Little things I've talked about before, just trying to figure out ways to get more steps into your day, such as, where you park so that you can walk further, taking stairs instead of elevators, things like that make a big difference over time. But really like kind of think about your day. Could you do a little 15-minute walk after your last meal? Could you do a 15-minute walk in the morning on your lunch break? Could you walk around your office or your school or whatever? So little things like that. But really getting those steps in is, walking is a form of aerobic exercise, and it benefits cardiovascular health by improving heart and lung function. And, regular physical activity like walking is going to reduce the risk of all of those chronic diseases that we don't want. And if maybe you're not quite 50 yet, and you're not like thinking in terms of chronic diseases, trust me, at some point in your life, you're going to, and you're going to be so grateful that you took care of yourself, because it's really difficult once you've been diagnosed with something. Life gets harder, and we don't want that. So whenever you think like, man, getting in shape, dropping a size, that's hard. That's actually easier than walking or than living your life unhealthy, than living your life with obesity. So remember, whenever you think it's hard, nope, this is easier than being unhealthy. So, but it really does aid in weight management. Walking and increasing daily steps contribute to calorie expenditure, which is what we're looking for here. When you burn more calories than you consume, that's kind of an ideal thing. It's a math equation at some point, right? It is going to boost your mood and your mental health, which is huge. It's going to enhance your bone health. Again, something maybe if you're younger, you're not thinking about, but trust me, when you're older, you're definitely going to be happy that you did weight-bearing activities like walking. Just reducing your sedentary behavior. I say this all the time too. We weren't meant to be sitting. Here I am sitting, I'm kind of slouched. We're not meant to be doing that. We human beings, if you look at our structure, we have these long legs. We're supposed to be moving. We're supposed to be upright. We have these long legs for a reason. So, walking through the day can counteract the negative effects of prolonged sitting, and it's just going to contribute to your overall health and well-being. It improves your sleep quality. Just a regular physical activity is going to help with your sleep, and it supports longevity. So who doesn't want to live longer and live healthier? So just getting 10,000 steps in a day through walking or other forms of physical activity have numerous benefits for your health. And, of course, my favorite way to get steps in would be playing pickleball, because it doesn't feel like you're even getting that's not what your thought process is. It's not like getting on a treadmill and just walking and you're bored out of your mind, but it's walking. I love pickleball because I'm getting the steps in, but I'm also using my brain, and I'm also having like so much, dopamine, like response from all these exciting, like the points. I have camaraderie with the people that I'm playing with. There's a whole social aspect of it. So that's a great way to get steps in. Listening to podcasts is probably my favorite thing to do when I'm out walking. Or if you have a friend that you can walk with, that's a blast too. You and your friend can solve all the problems of the world. That's a wonderful time, to have conversation. Or just maybe you're just getting on the phone. You call your mother. So yeah, walking's important. So that's number one, truly number one right there. Get up and move. Okay. So strength training offers numerous advantages just beyond building muscle. So here's why it's so important and how you can support your weight loss goals. And when I say strength training, I'm not talking about like a Pilates class. And there's no like Pilates I think that's a great form of exercise. I'm not saying that, but when I talk about strength training, I'm talking about like, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see like I have dumbbells behind me. I'm talking like old school weight, like strength training session. Okay. You've got a weight bench or the floor, or you've got dumbbells, or maybe you can use some machines in your gym, but I'm just talking about a straight up strength training. There's no loud music. You're not trying to go fast. You're not trying to do all these crazy things and work somebody else. It's not about like, how many calories am I burning in this workout? I'm talking about increasing muscle mass here. So as we age, this is super important because we lose muscle mass. It's called sarcopenia. We actually lose muscle mass naturally, no matter who you are. As you age, you start to lose muscle mass, and that leads to a slow metabolism. Who wants a slow metabolism? Nobody does, right? No, so regular strength training is going to help preserve, and it's maybe, hopefully, even increase muscle mass, which in turn boosts your metabolism. That means you're going to burn more calories sitting here at rest, and it's going to support fat loss and weight management. So when women hear muscle mass, they kind of get nervous. And that might be you. You might be saying, I really don't want to gain mass. That's not what I'm talking about. You have no idea how difficult it is to put on muscle. Muscle takes a lot of time and consistency. And at this point, I want you to just preserve what you have. Gaining muscle mass takes increasing your calories, quite honestly. And it takes eating probably more food than what you're eating right now. And increasing muscle is it's a challenge. I've been trying to do it for a long time, and it takes a ton of consistency and progressive overload. So it's not about getting bulky. It's not about getting this becoming like the Hulk at all. It's just what I always like to say is, when you say like, oh, I want that toned look. I want to see some muscle definition. That's what we're talking about. That girl that you see that has that toned look, those toned legs, those toned arms, she has muscle. So that's what we're trying to do there. But, it improves bone density, super important as we age. Weight-bearing exercises, they help stimulate bone growth and reduce risk of fractures and bone-related issues. Again, the things that you're doing now, you are ensuring a better aging process for you. Also, if you want to look younger, you need muscle on your body. I always call it the fountain of youth. That is what muscle is. We've been looking for the fountain of youth for years. We've heard about it. It's muscle. Muscle is what keeps you young, keeps you looking younger. And there's just no bad things about it. It enhances fat loss. It increases your functional strength. It's going to boost your confidence and your mood. I'm telling you, strength training is going to release endorphins. It's going to improve overall mood. You're going to be feeling stronger. You're going to be feeling more confident. When you think like, I want to wear a tank top in the summer, that's because you want to show some shoulder definition. That's muscle, biceps, triceps, all that stuff. It's going to, I just can't say enough good things about it. So that's probably my favorite one on the list. And just getting into a routine is what you need to do. But yeah, lifting, I would recommend 3 to 4 times a week. When you incorporate strength training in your routine, you really want to be focusing on compound exercises that target multiple muscle groups like squats, deadlifts, lunges, push-ups, and rows. Okay. You can start lighter. I always talk about lifting heavy, but yeah, you can start lighter weight and then gradually increase your resistance as you become stronger. Technique is super important to prevent injury, and just aim for consistency. You want to be doing a program that prioritizes progressive overload, which just means you're gradually increasing the challenge to maximize the benefits of strength training for fat loss and overall health. A well done program, one that is going to move the needle for you when we're talking about losing a size by Memorial Day, is going to feel a little bit boring. If you have a trainer or you have a program that you feel like it's a lot of the same, they know what they're doing. If you have a routine where it's just helter skelter, you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall, we're doing all kinds of stuff, there's no programming there. That is not progressive overload. You need to be, so it should feel very like a lot of repetition. Okay. So of course I'm going to pat the Faster Way on the back here because we have head trainers that have it all lined out. In fact, almost the whole year is designed at a time so that it is a well thought out program. And we kind of change it with progressive overload. Like this month, we're doing time under tension where we are holding certain moves longer. The reps are slower. Maybe, you're doing a bicep curl where you curl up 1 and you're going down slow, 3, 2, 1. Hold back up. So kind of changing the timing of things is a version of progressive overload. So if you are one of my VIP clients, just know that that's already built in. If you do the gym version of the Faster Way, you're going to notice that it is all about progressive overload and you have the same workout on, like, let's take, for instance, our Wednesday workout, which is a total body workout. You're going to see that through the month of April, Wednesday is going to look the same every time, but progressive overload, we're trying to pay attention. I like to take note of how much weight am I lifting the first week versus the last week. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, moving on to number three. Low carb or any other kind of extreme diets, they just aren't it. Okay. How's that for some good English for you? But that's not where it's at. Let's talk about low carb for just a moment. Women really need carbohydrates. And why is that? Well, we need them for hormone support, especially for thyroid function, due to the crucial role of carbohydrates in regulating the production of thyroid hormones. The thyroid gland, which is located in your neck, it plays a key role in metabolism and energy regulation. So carbs provide the necessary fuel in the form of glucose that supports the conversion of the inactive thyroid hormone T4 into active form T3 within the cells. I know that got sciencey on you, but this is important. So adequate carbohydrate intake helps maintain stable blood sugar levels, which is important for preventing stress on the adrenal glands and supporting overall hormonal balance. Sudden or prolonged restriction of carbs can disrupt thyroid function, which leads to symptoms like fatigue, weight gain, and hormonal imbalances. Therefore, including a balanced amount of carbs from whole unprocessed sources like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, it's really essential for supporting your thyroid health and overall hormone balance. Okay. The problem here is that we're not hearing that as females when we go to the doctor. We're not hearing that. So, there's a right way and a wrong way to, when we talk about carbs and eating carbohydrates. Certainly when we think of carbs, we're thinking of, quote, bad carbs. We're thinking of like donuts and cookies and crackers and bread and things like that. And the carbohydrates that I'm talking about are going to be coming from potatoes, like sweet potatoes or regular potatoes, all the vegetables, fruits. I'm not talking about canned syrupy fruits. I'm talking about fresh or frozen fruit and, whole grains. I do rice all the time. If you like quinoa, you can do quinoa. I mean, there's all kinds of carbs that are good for you, and you can fit in some fun carbs also, just not like all the time, right? So we treat a treat as such. A treat is a treat. That means like the definition is that it's not a treat if you have it every day, right? So a treat is something special. But carbohydrates, I incorporate those into my day. I mean, if somebody told me, when people tell me like, oh, a banana or an apple or whatever, those things aren't good for you. Okay, I have to hit the ignore button on that because first of all, I'm getting a lot of steps in the day. I'm not sedentary. I am strength training. So I need these carbohydrates to fuel my workouts. It's the body's number one preferred fuel source. So I feel really passionate and strongly about women being very careful about doing an extreme low carb diet. I also am very passionate about the next one, which is just that extreme calorie reducing diets. There's a lot of them out there. And I want to, I don't know, I kind of want to chew them out, honestly, because extreme low carb diets in the long run are really harmful to women for several reasons. But firstly, severely restricting carbs leads to nutrient deficiencies. And these are the kind of diets that lack essential vitamins, minerals, and macronutrients needed for optimal health. What you're putting in your body actually really matters and how your body runs. So if you want a weakened immune system, sure, tank your, calories and see how that goes, but yeah, it weakens the immune system. It can impair reproductive function. It can increase the risk of bone density loss and other health complications. Also, very low calorie diets, they slow your metabolism. And this isn't talked about enough either. Gosh, do I sound like on a soapbox or what? But you can tell like this, how my voice changes. I get so aggravated that women have been sold this BS for so long. But okay, so low calorie diets slow down the metabolism as the body adapts to the lack of food to conserve energy. So it makes it actually harder to lose weight and to maintain weight loss over time. So additionally, extreme calorie restriction has negative effects on your mood. I mean, energy levels, right? And mental clarity. This leads to irritability. So cranky pants, you're hangry, fatigue, you're feeling really tired, and difficult concentrating. There's a lot to be said about that last part, difficult concentrating. When so many people in the world, and I want to be sensitive to all the medications out there, because there is certainly a place for medication, and it is a wonderful thing that we have. And I will never say otherwise. But I think in the diagnosing of some people when it comes to concentrating, I think we need a more holistic approach in asking better questions of that person. What are they eating? Could you have them track their food intake, for a week or two to see what they're eating? I think it would make a big difference. If someone's chronically eating a low calorie diet, that could be the reason, So it's just something to think about. All right. Also, finally, these diets are not sustainable in the long term. So this results in cycles of weight loss and regaining, which is, what do we call that? Yo-yo dieting. And the amount of women that I talk to on Instagram that have been through this, they can tell you, it has had a detrimental effect on their metabolic health and their overall well-being, mental and physical. So instead, like, if you can focus on a balanced, nutrient-dense meal every day, your meals, however many you eat, just a sustainable lifestyle change, like adding some strength training, walking more. This is truly what you need. Will you